1, here we go. So basically they want me to add, subtract, multiply, and divide function. Won't be too bad. So let me bring it over here. So this is a, what section is this? 12.1. So we're done with chapter 11. That was a challenging chapter. So f of x equals x minus 8. G of x equals 7x plus 9. And what's it say? F plus g of x, so part A. F plus g of x. Okay. So basically this section is all, this chapter is all about functions. And so we're starting with adding two functions. So I've got f of x, and I've got g of x, and we want to add those two functions together. So there's nothing magical here. It's just what you would think it is. It's just adding them. So just grab the first one, x minus 8. Grab the second one, 7x plus 9. Add them up. What do you get? X and 7x? 8x. Negative 8 plus 9. Done. Just like terms. Just add the two functions. Next, they say, okay, subtract them. I think they say that. Yeah. Subtract the two functions. So, okay, we'll subtract the two functions. So you take the first one, x minus 8, subtract the second one, 7x plus 9. We good so far? What do you do with that minus in front of a parenthesis? You know, distributes, huh? Anna?
What about the x on top? Distribute?
What x on top?
It's f plus g parentheses x.
I'm sorry?
The parentheses is f plus g, and then there's a parentheses next to it, and it has an x in the middle. We don't distribute to it.
Oh, you're talking about like this? Yeah, this just means subtract the two functions. Yeah, the x, yeah, good question. I see what you're saying. This is just notation. Yeah, I'm not actually mechanically doing this. I mean, I sort of am. Well, I mean, it means this. It means f of x minus g of x. That's what it really means. Yeah, does that make sense? You don't have to do anything with that left side. It just means take the f of x and subtract the g of x. It's just the way they write that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, so go ahead and distribute that. That minus goes boom, boom. And so we get x minus 8 minus 7x minus 9, huh? Then do like terms, x minus 7x? Minus 6x. Minus 8 minus 9? Minus 17. Just use your calculator. There we go. Pretty straight ahead. Add, subtract. Let's go to multiply. Part C, f times g. Yeah, the way they do is they just put the x off to the right. They just tell you whatever operation with the functions and they're of x, or it'll be a function of x, is what they're saying. So just multiply f and g there. So it's just what you would think it is. We're just literally going to multiply them. So I take f, which is x minus 8, and I'm going to multiply g, which is 7x plus 9. So that's just a FOIL, isn't it? So just literally FOIL those out. First to both. What I got? 7x squared plus 9x, boom, boom, minus 56x minus 72. So that's 7x squared. 9 minus 56, 40, minus 40. I don't know. What is that? Can be minus 46. Minus 47x, is that right? Thanks. Minus, just use calculator. Minus 72, done. Is that okay? Can you read that? With a little hand there. So just multiply. Finally, step D is actually going to be the easiest of all. You're just going to divide them. Here, let me just squeeze it up here. There's nothing you can really do. So D says put f over g of x. Divide them. So you just go, okay. X minus 8 over 7x plus 9, done. There's just no simplification possible. So that's just it. That's part D. I just divided the two of them, and there's nothing you can do to clean that up. And so there we go. Does that make sense? A, B, C, and D. Just add, subtract, multiply, and divide the two functions. All stuff you've done before. Questions on that one? 3 now. Notice they got like a funny little O symbol. Looks like fog, right? They got a little O symbol sort of floating in the middle. That's not a times. They're not making a mistake. They didn't just make their dot too big. That's a new symbol. Anybody seen that before? Know what that is? It's composition of functions. You seen that before? It's plugging one function into the other. Like a musical composition takes all the different instruments and puts them all together into a beautiful piece of music. Right? They compose them together. We're composing the functions. We're going to put one function inside of the other. So here's what it means. It means let's start from the right. Think with me for a minute. Functions always start on the right, don't they? 5 goes into G. And when we're done with that, we'll plug into F. Right to left. That's always what functions have done. I hope that's not a surprise to you. Like if somebody said, what's F of 2? What would that mean? 2 goes into F, huh? So functions have always been right to left, haven't they? And it's the same thing here. So what am I going to do? 5 into G. That's where you start. Put 5 into the G function. Here's the G function. Plug in 5. Now that means just the right side, doesn't it? Are you with me on that? When they write G of X is minus 2X, what do they mean? They mean this slides right to there. That's really what that means, huh? That X is just holding a place. Are you with me on that? I would think it would have been better if they would have written functions like that. That's what they're really saying when they write G of X is minus 2X. That X is just holding a spot. It's like a toaster. A function's like a toaster, and that X is like the holes in the top. Just means insert here. Right? That's all that goes on with the function. So what we're putting in, when they're saying put a 5 into the G function, put the bread in the toaster, see what comes out. That's what we're doing. So we're going to put 5 into G. What do you get? Minus 2 times 5. What comes out is minus 10. So you put in the 5. What comes out is minus 10. So what pops out of the G toaster is minus 10, and then you put that into F. It's double plug-in. What comes out of the toaster, you then put into F. Is that making sense? That's what this circle thing in the middle means. It means plug into both. But it's always right to left. First 5 goes into G. What comes out goes into F. So now we're going to do F of negative 10. That negative 10 is going into F. Here's F. You put in here and here. There's 2 insert slots, aren't there? So negative 10 squared minus 6 times negative 10 plus 5. So that's 100 plus 60 plus 5. 165 is the final output. We're done with that problem. So I'm going to run over that again. Is that making sense what just happened there? So we go right to left, starting with the 5, put it into G, out came negative 10. And then what came out of G, we put into F. So I put negative 10 into F. What does that mean to put it in? I put it in where X is, huh? Plug it in there, just crank it out, 165. So that's what that little O thing means. It means you're plugging one thing. You know what it's like? It's like if I put my toaster into my refrigerator. That would be weird. But then I want to give you like a real life sense of things. That's what it's like. Because, and then you took bread and you put it in the toaster in your refrigerator. Push down the lever, close the refrigerator door. You listen, a couple minutes later, pop, you hear it inside the refrigerator. Give it a couple more minutes. Open the refrigerator door. What are you going to have? It's chill toast. It's someone more appetizing now. Right, so yeah, that'd be weird, of course. But I want you to get the physical idea. What would happen? That bread went in the toaster, right? The inside function, like 5 went into G, and the toaster did his thing on the bread, turned it into toast, popped it up, toast. Like popped out -10, came out of the G, the first function. Then that went in the second. Then the toast was acted upon by the refrigerator, right? The second function did his thing and chilled it down, cooled it down, and out came the final product. That's the idea, right? You're going through both functions. Going through the toaster, then the refrigerator. They both do their thing, but one at a time. That's what that O, that composition of functions, means. You want to try number 4? So try number 4 there. We're taking 0, we're going to put it into H. Whatever pops out, we then put into G and get our final output. Into the toaster, into the refrigerator. See what comes out. And there's the two functions. They're giving me G of X is -4X. So G is the multiply by -4, anything you plug into it. And H is square root, anything you plug into him. Right? You're plugging into H first. They say it's right to left, always for functions. So 0 goes into H, square root of 0. What's the square root of 0? Yeah, what times itself is 0? 0. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. So it's 0. Out pops a 0 and goes into G. So then G of 0. Well, it's -4 times 0. It's still 0. We're getting nowhere fast. It's 0. It just came out 0 for both. All right, that was kind of anticlimactic. Let's go on to number 5. Number 5, we're not doing a particular number. We're doing the whole X thing. So here we go. So X goes into G, which is this. There's G of X. It's X minus 4. And then G goes into F. Right to left, huh? So what that really means is I'm going to take all of this and plug it in right there. Does that make sense? I'm plugging G of X into F. Do you see that that's what it's saying? And then in a minute, I'm going to do it backwards, vice versa. The second part means go the other way. But right now, we're on the first part. Does that make sense? Remember, it's always right to left. So it's X into G, G of X, there it is, X minus 4. Put that into F. Put G into F. So that means I'll take F here. And right in this slot, I'm going to plug in G, X minus 4. Does everybody see that? I plugged G into F. The X is the slot you plug into, huh? We good? And then just work it out. Just multiply, gather like terms, whatever you need to do. So let's do that. So distribute, get 4x minus 16 minus 2, 4x minus 18, done. So that's the answer here. Now let's go the other way on the second part. Is everybody okay with that one, though? Do you see what I did? I just put G into F. Just put G into F. Second part, X into F and F into G. Right to left, always for functions. So X into F, well, that's just F of X. We got that, 4x minus 2. F into G. All of F into G. All of F of X into G. So all of this into G, right? Does that make sense? So G is whatever you plug in minus 4. We're putting in all of F. 4x minus 2 minus 4. Right? Because this is f here, isn't it? I put in all of f into g. And then just work it out from there. Is that making sense what I'm doing? Y'all seeing how I'm doing that? Right? Remember, functions are right to left. It's telling me to put f into g. So I take the whole f function, the whole 4x minus 2, and I plug it into the x slot in g. Right? See it up there? I plug it into this x slot right there. This is the x slot. Take away 4. Take away 4. Is that good? So what is that then? 4x minus 2 minus 4. There's nothing in front of the parentheses here, so you can just drop them. They're not doing anything. Only if there's a number or negative sign or something in front of the parentheses do we have to distribute, huh? So what is that then? 4x minus 6? That's the answer to part 2. 4x minus 6. Is that good? You see how we did that?
Can you explain that again with the parentheses?
Yeah. Well, you mean about the parentheses not doing anything?
Not distributing.
Yeah, well, parentheses, if there was a number in front, like a 3 or whatever, then I would have to go boom, boom, wouldn't I? Yeah, but I'm just saying if there's nothing in front of the parentheses, then there's nothing to distribute. Just drop them. They're not doing anything.
On the right, you don't have to, right?
What's that?
There's no need for the red, like the negative 4, you don't have to.
Yeah, because this negative is only on that 4. Yeah, so signs are only on who they're in front of.
So basically left to right, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so that negative is on that 4. He's not on this guy. Yeah, exactly. Good. That makes sense? All right, so shall we? So try 6 there. Do the first part. F of g of x. Remember, it's right to left. Right to left. They're wanting you to put g into f, aren't they? So take all of g and plug it into f. So all of g plugged into f. Is that making sense there? So what are you going to get? Absolute value of minus 5x minus 7, like that. I would just leave it, honestly. I don't know. Well, let's see what they say. Leave that. That's the answer to the first. You don't have to clean it up anyway. How about the second one? Try the second one now. G of f. Let's switch the order. Is that okay in the first one? Questions I can answer in that first one? Try the second one where we swap the order. Now we're going to put f into g. It's always right to left for functions. Put f into g. All of f into g. Negative 5, absolute value of x, minus 7. Done. There's nothing more to do with it. Does that make sense? See how I took all of f, which is absolute value of x, and plugged it into the slot. Remember, x is a slot, like the holes in the toaster. Right? Is that? I've got some good questions over the years. Students have said to me, well, Mr. Aaron, I see that, but shouldn't the other x be next to it? So that's a good question. No, the x, remember, is not really there. It's just a slot. So in other words, the way you could really think of g of x is minus 5 blank minus 7. That's really the way they should have written functions, I think. That x is not really there. It's just a blank. It's just holding a spot. So when you take absolute value of x and you put it in, that's what you end up with, huh? F into g. Make sense on that? We good? Look at number 7 for just a second, and we'll finish with that. Number 7, they're wanting you to do the same thing backwards. They're saying, hey, here's f, here's g. We want to make this new thing called h. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's F, there's G, there's H. We want to make square root of x squared minus 6. See what they're doing on number 7? They're giving you an F, a G, and an H. They're saying here's F, here's G, and here's H. How can we make this capital H? Oh, yeah, it's a capital H. I was a little confused. There's 2 H's there. It's kind of weird. Anyway, there's a little h and a big H. So they're saying we want to make this big. We want to write this as a composition. We want to make it something composed with something. That's what that floating 0 means. Composition. It's like an O for the word of. That's kind of how you can think of it. Of. I don't know if that helps at all. Anyway, let's finish it up. So how do we do it? Which function, how do you get square root of x squared minus 6 out of these 3 guys? They put one of them into the other one. Can you tell which? See, what did they put into what? Who went into whom? H plugged into G, didn't it? Do you see that? That's how they made this new creation over here. That's how they made this musical composition. They took this instrument and plugged it into that one. And you'll get square root of that, which is that. You see that? Is it too late for this? So that means it's, all they want you to say then is it's G here and little h there, done. That's all they want. They just want to know which 2 in which order. Because it's always right to left, so that's it, H into G. That's it. That's all they want. That's how you do those last 3, 7, 8, 9. Just like that.